Hello and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am the Crushinator, and I am your host tonight, but I am not alone. Welcome to the cast, p0s3idon. How you doing today?
Hello, Crushinator. I'm doing pretty good, and excited to get into some more casting and getting another match in. This looks like it's going to be a good one, and love being able to get in on these.
Absolutely. We've got a big Division E matchup here between p0s3idon and FC Hong Kong, getting towards the end of the season here. So we're going to see how these teams shake out. Let's head over to the tail of the tape and let you know about tonight's teams. In blue this evening, the home team will be p0s3idon. They're having a little bit of trouble this season, coming in at 1-6 on the match record, 2-12 on the maps. Their most played maps so far, 3 games on Volskaya Foundry, 2 on Infernal Shrine, so a whole lot of different maps coming in here for p0s3idon. Most played heroes, a whole lot of different heroes as well. 4 games on Mei, 3 on Raynor, and 3 on Ragnaros. What's going on with FC Hong Kong there, p0s3idon?
Well, they're having a much better season. They are actually standing at 6-2 with a map record of 13-6, so they've only dropped half of their maps. Their most played map is Infernal Shrines also, but they have played it quite a few more times, as well as Tomb of the Spider Queen. They also very much favor their most played heroes of Diablo, Li Ming, and Yrel, with Diablo, Li Ming at 7 games and Yrel at 6.
Looking good. FC Hong Kong definitely looking strong going into the playoffs. They've started up this draft already, so let's head over to the map screen real quick, remind you of the maps for this series, then we'll jump straight into this draft. Towers of Doom, Alterac Pass, Volskaya Foundry, and Braxis Holdout are taken away for this series. And as you heard, it's going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen for game number 1. Let's jump right into that draft, Ninja, and see what our teams have to offer us today.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have a lot of focus on the wave clear on this map, because it is extremely important that you can get those gems for the objective and be able to push back against enemy objectives as well. So I'm expecting to see a lot of focus around that area.
Absolutely. Wave clear, absolutely paramount. Tassadar, quite the wave clearer themselves.
Yeah, definitely ever since his rework was huge. He was still a popular hero on this map anyway, but now that he's a full-blown mage, definitely a great hit.
Absolutely. Pretty much any build you go on Tassadar, the favored Q build, if you go Psionic Storm, even Auto Attack isn't so bad for wave clear. So nice ban there by p0s3idon. FC Hong Kong thinking about what they're going to take away, and it will be the most favored tank for p0s3idon in May.
Doing a bit of research there to figure out what they need to be getting rid of out of the hands of the enemy team.
Looking to set p0s3idon on the back foot right in the opening bans. FC Hong Kong has some favored heroes as well, as we saw in that opening screen, so we'll see if p0s3idon wants to ban or pick any of those away here. But definitely focusing on your core draft is the way to go, as we see another tank banned here in ETC.
Very interesting choice. I do like it to some degree, because ETC is notorious on this map for being able to disrupt rotations. But definitely feel like I would have liked to see a Diablo ban there instead, because of how much they played it.
Diablo is played an awful lot by FC Hong Kong. Definitely can work with the terrain on Tomb, can interrupt those rotations, much like ETC. So we see Diva banned away here by FC Hong Kong. Yeah, ETC, I mean, the wave clear, definitely not going to be brought by the tank when it comes to ETC, but just such a strong team fighter that...
Oh, for sure.
Definitely a thoughtful ban, but possibly if they want to pick the Diablo here, or they may let it slip over to FC Hong Kong.
There's definitely an option. Yep.
Oh, look at that.
In after all.
The tricksy tank plays coming out from p0s3idon. They ban one and they pick the other. That's going to force FC Hong Kong to pick their damage combo in Kael'thas and Ana. That's a pretty powerful combo there, Ninja.
Yeah, it looks like they were ready for that pick. They snap locked it.
Kael'thas bringing that wave clear Ana, empowering the Fire Mage with that nano boost and being able to heal from quite a distance to stay away from that Diablo. Oh, and picking away, or grabbing their favored Ragnaros and Raynor here is p0s3idon.
Now,
interesting map for Interesting map for Rag.
I was just gonna say, this is Div E, so I fully expect a lava wave here, as in I'm getting pretty excited about that.
Should be interesting. Keep picking up that experience. It can leave some of those gems on the ground, but that's a small price to pay for just completely nullifying one lane, as we see FC Hong Kong going to ban away Stukov now that they've already picked their Ana.
Yeah, getting those healer chokes is pretty good, because you want to make sure you can get that done. I do like this ban a lot too. Johanna is definitely one of the most favored tanks on this map.
Gonna force FC Hong Kong onto the Garrosh. Definitely very, very weak in the wave clear department, but the kill pressure coming out from Garrosh can be very effective on a small map like Tomb here.
Yeah, for sure. And he's another one of the tanks that I was talking about being good at disrupting the rotations. And Vala's another pickup as well. That's a quite nasty combo with the Kel'Thas.
Lot of damage coming out from those two heroes for sure.
So
the last two picks here. Ooh, we've got an Oriole. See what that's going to be paired with Bramble. It's going to be the Gul'dan, my favorite. Well, second
That's
favorite.
kind of what I expected as soon as I saw the Oriole. I was like, who's going to be the battery? And yep, Gul'dan is definitely one of my favorites on this map.
Very impressive wave clear setup. Gul'dan absolutely shores up the deficits in the other heroes, so good draft there. We'll see whether FC Hong Kong can get a little bit of extra. Kael'thas is enough pretty much on their own, but a little extra never hurts for sure. It's going to be Thrall coming in for Geo, so instead deciding to buff the team fight. Here's FC Hong Kong.
I do like that because he does match up fairly well against the Ragnaros in the solo lane, and especially because this map is so small, you can easily quickly rotate to just throw out a few help on the regular team.
Absolutely. We'll have to see how these two teams clash. It's Poseidon versus FC Hong Kong here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Here we go. All right, teams loading in here to Tomb of the Spider Queen. What do you think of these drafts so far, Ninja?
I definitely think they very strongly matched one for one. They basically took the same exact roles for both sides and are just trying to see who can play it out better.
We'll have to see, and let's introduce our teams. On the left in the blue, we have Poseidon, with Bramble on the Gul'dan, Penetrator playing Oriole, Dos Dolares on the Diablo, that's going to be tough to say fast, Spankus on the Ragnaros, and Grim Notepad on the Rainer.
And on the right side in the red for FGC Hong Kong, we've got Geo on the Thrall, Ronan on the Garrosh, Black Stormer on Ana, Tiny Notai on Kel'Thas, and Vala Nemteode on... sorry for butchering any names.
Oh, a double sleep and a double root coming on out here from FC Hong Kong right off the bat.
You guys are ready to
the
play.
counters coming in from Poseidon. That's Garrosh down here.
Almost did get the tank trade with that, but they did manage to get out of there okay for now. But the Dawn's looking pretty low as well.
Fireworks flying right here on the first wave on Tomb of the Spider Queen as we see Nematude moving up. And Dostolad is catching Tiny Notai on the rotations. He's doing what that Diablo does best. And there goes Kael'Thas.
That is exactly what I mean about Diablo on this map. There are so many walls to bang into.
Poseidon off to a loud start here on Tomb. FC Hong Kong going to have to reset. Make sure that their rotations are safe and as a group here.
Yeah, dude, it was definitely aggressive. That's a huge push in the top lane already going on.
Diablo just living on the right side of the map, tries to find the pick onto Garrosh, but a little bit too much health and armor there. So it looks like FC Hong Kong just going to have to take the safe rotations for now until they can get ahead on this wave clear.
Yeah, they're definitely risking it by constantly allowing Diablo to pressure that area.
It's going to be tough here. The damage for Kael'thas and Vala really ramps up in the later game, so getting any kills onto Dos Dolares in the early going is going to be very difficult for FC Hong Kong. And the wave clear coming out from Oriole Gul'dan means that Poseidon is just going to be ahead on these rotations.
It's also not looking too good for them in the bottom lane either, because the Ragnaros chunked out the Thrall, but looks like he is going to get his turn in okay, so works out better.
Geo managing to sneak a turn in there, but yeah, the health and mana pools suggest that Spankus is doing a great job there in the bottom lane. Checking up top, looks like there was a bit of a scrap, but FC Hong Kong, they're starting to move as 4, starting to stabilize. But Poseidon with that relentless wave clear is absolutely setting the pace in the early going here.
Yeah, for sure. They are just controlling this entire top area. Looks like we did have a bit of a fight over the siege camp in the bottom lane, but both decided to back off of that.
Here's a heavy rotation coming in from Poseidon. Geo might get caught out here. Dos Dolares gets the Shadow Charge, the Overpower, and there goes Thrall. Nice rotation coming out from Poseidon, and that's going to allow Spankus to start working on that bottom camp.
Yeah, with their domination of the top area, being able to rotate and get that kill was absolutely perfect timing.
You see Diablo move on up and try to protect Gul'dan, try to protect the wave clear. Another stun coming in onto Kael'thas, but there's the throw from Ronan. This could be trouble here for Diablo. That's a lot of damage coming out. Himito trying to move up, and Diablo will manage to get away as Bramble warding away with the Fell Flame. Still maintaining a pretty heavy bottom presence here is Poseidon Ninja.
Oh yeah, for sure. You could tell that Diablo was a little aggressive there and not realizing that his team was helping out in the bottom and separated from the rest of them.
Definitely went in hard there. Got some good damage onto Vala with being just a Diablo on level 6. But without the follow-up, there was definitely not a kill opportunity there.
Looks like they're preparing to get their turn in as they do have enough jumps, and Diablo is still going so deep.
Just really going until they get stopped. Dos Dolares is going to start walking on out of there with the help of Oriole. Bramble going to have to be careful on that angle as the tower was starting to key onto Gul'dan a little bit. But now we're looking at level 7 to 6 for Poseidon, and they have enough for their turn in here.
Looks like we've got another team fight going on at the top. Garrosh is in a very bad position, but the Honest barely keeping him alive, and Raynor actually gets out alive too. This is going very heavily on one side.
A little bit of living bomb transition or transmission there, but not so much that anyone went down on the side of Poseidon, and that's 4 kills to 0 in the early going here, and it looks like we're going to have our first web weavers of the game going down the lanes for blue.
Yeah, it looks like they're all fairly low right now, so it's going to be interesting to see how they position these waves for the push. But it looks like Ragnaros is actually coming up, and they're going to be 5-man pushing this top wave.
This is a very aggressive strategy. If they don't make something happen with either kills or quick siege damage, Poseidon is going to be at a little bit of a deficit. This Thrall is stuck in the off lane. There's that living bomb spread. Dos Dolares trying to get on out of there. Are they going to keep with this push? It looks like they are going to break out here a little bit.
I definitely see the ideas of where they were going there, but they didn't wait for the Red Weaver to come down before they started their initiation.
Getting out a little bit ahead and getting caught by the Kael'thas damage. Poseidon having to move on back, rotate around and get a little bit more of a conservative push with this first objective, though they are still a full level ahead here, and well on their way to level 10.
They did manage to get all 3 front walls, so it definitely was beneficial, but
very strong opening push here.
Now the web weavers are cleared, so it looks like they're going to be backing off and trying to prepare for the next area. Red team does have a turn-in ready, so you would expect them to be watching those turn-ins and making sure that they don't get them, but nobody is in the top lane, and it looks like they're actually going to get this.
With 21 on Nematode, that is going to be a red Web Weaver wave coming on down. Poseidon looking for Geo in the bottom lane, but Thrall Wind Fury's right on out of there. Yeah, we saw Poseidon, they were trying to control both the camp and the bottom turn-in, but without the vision on the top, it's a counter push with the red Web Weavers. So it's level 10 to 9 here for Poseidon.
Looks like they already got some chip damage into that wall, and it's unfortunate positioning for this top Web Weaver.
Web Weaver moves right on past the team here, gonna force FC Hong Kong to rotate over to the mid lane.
And I do really like this, because they realize that they're not going to be able to get much in that top lane.
There's that lava wave you predicted going down the mid, trying to help out with this clear, force away FC Hong Kong. A very strong defense coming out from Poseidon here, pretty much totally nullifying this Web Weaver wave.
Yeah, they didn't get a single tower with that, so that was actually a very good defense. And oh, it looks like Geo's in a lot of danger here, and he gets feared, and oh my gosh, the turnaround is very good, but not enough to save him. Let's see if they can get any kills, and down goes Diablo, soon to follow with Raynor.
I think that might have been a 5-player taunt coming out from Garrosh there, and that's going to be 2 dead. Spank is trying to get away. Double sleep arrow coming out from Blackstormer. That's going to kill Ragnaros as well. I
absolutely loved the Garrosh throw for the Vala into the team, and she just went to town on everybody. So many low health bars, they were just able to finish them off.
FC Hong Kong turning things right around after a great defense from Poseidon. And I think the winds may be a change in here on Towers of Doom. So we see Diablo being keyed onto in the bottom lane, and that's another kill. Of course, Diablo's souls were reset, so that spell armor was a little bit low. It's going to take some time before Diablo is back to full strength. Oh no, Penetrator moving in with low health, gets caught out there.
It's very unfortunate. Poseidon definitely had strong control of the early game, but as soon as they hit level 10, Hong Kong just took over the game.
See Hong Kong getting a couple kills in a row. They're going to keep on the siege in this bottom fort. There's the sleep onto Raynor, but Bramble throwing out those corruption stacks. 34 out of 40 on that level 1 quest, so that's going to start echoing back pretty soon here.
Very close on that tower kill too, just 700 health remaining on it.
Important to note, Poseidon losing those members in those multiple engages now are pretty far away from their next turn-in, and we're going to have a double red Web Weaver wave coming on down. Nematode trying to get away from the lightning breath, manages to survive. That's Dos Stellados going down again, but Spank is coming up, getting the counter kill onto the Vala. Ronan managing to get away through the mid lane. Geo rotating out as well, so a 1-for-1 there as we have the red Web Weavers coming on down the lanes.
That was actually very good timing to make sure that Vala was down for this defense on the Web Weavers, because it could have very badly turned around. Looks like we actually have Gul'dan is nearly done with his stacking, so we should be able to see that ramp up. And oh, Geo is actually taking a 1v1 fight with the Ragnaros, very close to getting him, even diving past this fort in order to try to get there, but he's not going to make it, getting turned around and not in a good position now, trying to get out of
this could be tough. Diablo's on the chase, Geo is going to double back, but it's going to be found.
No.
There's the Dos Stellados with the overpower and the kill.
Good effort.
But Geo peeling away the entirety of Poseidon means that the rest of FC Hong Kong can try to reset here. It looks like the siege in the bottom lane will be the play for Poseidon.
And gotta try to knock down this other fort. They did manage to get the top fort with that Web Weaver push. Diablo going in again without any follow-up and is in a dangerous position now.
Oriole coming in with the big save, the stasis onto Diablo. There's the Horrify from Bramble, going to push back Ronan for now, saving Diablo for the meantime. Oh, a double sleep from Blackstormer. Nematode knows better, though, does not dive into the full team of Poseidon. He's just going to head on down and meet up with the tank.
Thankfully, Diablo is not quite at full souls yet, but he is at high enough to keep him alive with it during that area comes in to save the day.
Right now, Rainer's stuck in the top lane. FC Hong Kong possibly looking for a way in as the lava wave roasts this bottom lane. We may have a confrontation over this camp here as Blackstormer is going to catch this. Ronan doesn't manage to get there who's enough, but Dos Dolares isn't waiting. They're going right in.
Oh, the body blocks onto the garage. He's still living though. That dude is so very tanky, and now they're switching over to the DPSs. Everybody does manage to get out alive. A lot of low health bars though.
Nice disengage there from FC Hong Kong. Very good job trying to find the kill and managing to peel on out of there. Not quite with their next turn in here is p0s3idon. And also waiting on their third here is FC Hong Kong as they move over to the right side bruiser camp.
Yeah, I'd like to see them try to hold this because they're clearly giving up the turn-in, and they want to try to lose this to defense. But it looks like we've got another fight going on here. Geo in a terrible position, but he does end up going down.
Geo almost wiggling out of that one, getting hit by the Horrify, getting hit by nearly everything. Ultimately going down. Looked like Geo might have escaped there. But FC Hong Kong lose their solo laner. Couldn't they get some revenge on Spankus? No. Ragnaros peels on out of there.
So in order to get that kill, they did stop turning in, so they still have to do a few more gems, and there they are. Unfortunately for the red team, Thrall is going to be back up in time for this to help with the defense.
FC Hong Kong preparing for the next Webweaver wave. p0s3idon taking the opportunity to work on this top lane for now. While FC Hong Kong is in the bottom lane, will be a lava wave down there in the bottom lane as well. Uh-oh, Thrall in some trouble in the top. Geo gets hit by the domination combo.
That was not the fight that you wanted to take.
Geo attempting to throw in for the defense, but gets caught by Dos Dolares, and the push in the top lane will continue here.
You can tell that this team is strongly focused on this lane, primarily, I assume, because of the boss being in this lane. Trying to
top lane definitely important here on Tomb of the Spider Queen in terms of ending the game. Dos Dolares going in, trying to find Nematode. Can't get the double stun, but follows up with the lightning breath. Enough to get Bramble on out of there. So p0s3idon is rebuffed for now, and still all three keep standing for FC Hong Kong.
This is exactly what a lot of players do with Lava Wave, is when they are full 5-man pushing one lane, they'll Lava Wave to the opposite lane, and that Webweaver by itself was able to get the front keep walls.
FC Hong Kong definitely pushed back on the map right now, but they're definitely not out of this. If they can stabilize, get their next Webweaver, and push out onto the map, they still have a chance in this game. But we're going to see p0s3idon move around the map, grab the bruiser camp on the left-hand side, and try to maintain their site advantage.
Absolutely incredible that that bottom fort is still standing.
Bottom fort standing by 3%, I'm going to say. FC Hong Kong thinking about a boss play, or at least baiting one. Nematode is going to show in lane. Spankus is going to find Ronan in the vent. So FC Hong Kong is going to have to move on out of there as they have been spotted.
They did end up showing on the wave, so they know that the boss is free right now, and if they don't come back, they could definitely take this.
Uh-oh, FC Hong Kong is clearing mid. p0s3idon's halfway through this boss. I think FC Hong Kong, they're not going to be able to get here in time, even if they make their way right now. They're just going to have to keep clearing their lanes, and now they're going to have to clear this boss.
Interesting choice there. They just basically... They had the idea to defend it early on, but then when it didn't work for the ambush right away, they just basically gave up and went to go clear lanes.
They've been getting caught on the rotations by this Diablo, so playing a little bit safe there. But now, the time it's going to take to clear this boss, p0s3idon's going to have level 20, and that's going to be that much harder to claim the next team fight.
And they have strong control of this entire map for the majority of this game. In fact, red team hasn't even been able to get their gems in for this next tournament. Now Keep just barely staying alive with just under 2,000 health. Going for a camp steal as well. Just not letting the red team breathe.
Hong Kong does have a small window here where Poseidon does not have enough gems to turn in, but that window is very close to closed. There's only 10 more gems needed. Dostalaris going in very deep, getting follow-up stunned and rooted, and oh no, that's Diablo down. That's going to be a soul reset. I'm not sure that Poseidon needed to be that aggressive there.
Definitely not. I understand they want to push for the level 20 advantage, but once again, Diablo doesn't seem to be on the same page as the team when going in.
It's going to give FC Hong Kong a chance to push out the top lane. Poseidon looking for another 7 gems, just going to rotate around. Diablo is back on the field, though has lost a lot of that power.
You can tell that they're very focused on getting their level 20s and not letting anyone be caught out, rotating as 5 between every single lane.
We're going to see 20 here for FC Hong Kong, and this is their chance. Poseidon waiting for a mistake. Spankus is going to show in lane. Ronan coming around. Uh-oh, Bramble's in some trouble. Pops the Unstoppable to deny the Wrecking Ball, and Dostalaris is in the backline again. Tiny No Tai going to get... Oh, look at the giant fear from Gul'dan! Oh. Kael'thas is down! Garrosh being keyed onto by the members of Poseidon. Looks like Ronan's going to get on out of there, though. There's the counter Earthquake from Thrall. Diablo's still alive, just roasting away onto Nematode here. The Earthquake is keeping everyone there. Unbelievable. Poseidon managed to keep everyone alive, and only one goes down on the side of FC Hong Kong.
Ragnos with a really aggressive molten core here, and Diablo trying to protect him ends up going down.
That's 60 seconds without the main tank for Poseidon. They do have the next Web Weaver available. Looks like Spankus is going to claim the blue Web Weavers here. And top keep absolutely going down. Bot and mid are exposed. FC Hong Kong's going to have to pull out a pretty strong defense here. Even without Diablo, these lanes all the way pushed in for Poseidon.
Yeah, on the plus side for those pushed in lanes, keep going, but Real is now being alone here and separated from the rest of the team, not in a good pace, and down he goes.
Thrall taken out in the bottom lane. There's some gems on the ground. 20 seconds till Diablo's back, and it's going to be a full minute before we see Thrall. Ronan looking for Bramble here, finds the stun, is going to get the throwback. Uses the Indomitable to avoid the Horrify, but there's Oriel with the save. Look at all that siege damage coming out from Gul'dan. Top keep is going to be gone. Mid keep is going to be gone. Bottom is saved here by FC Hong Kong. Diablo's starting to surge across the map here.
Very fortunate that they were able to get that Thrall pick in order to help continue this push to keep it as a 4v4. So we'll see how Poseidon wants to try to close out this game. They do not look to be going in too deep and just controlling this mid area. It's like they're planning on just waiting for the next turn-in.
It's going to be an awful long time here before Poseidon has their next turn-in. Boss is up in 15 seconds. FC Hong Kong starting to move towards that top turn-in will be spotted by Dostalaris. Uh-oh, Diablo going in alone once again. Pops the Unstoppable, and it looks like FC Hong Kong is just going to dish out the damage, and there goes Diablo. Taunt is good onto Spankus. Could this be the turnaround point for FC Hong Kong?
And then the throw.
Gul'dan and Oriel are down. There goes Grim Notepad. It's a quad kill coming out for FC Hong Kong. That's going to be a red Web Weaver wave once Ragnaros is out of this form. Oh, Ronan manages to get 43 in. There's Nematode, and we're going to have some red Web Weavers. They're not going to get very far here, but they will help stabilize the lanes and stop the catapult pressure from Poseidon.
Most definitely. If they can get... Looks like they're actually going to these top keep walls to try to get as much pressure as possible while the teams are still down.
At this point in the game, you can definitely move in and do this without any wave. Ragnaros does not have the Molten Core anymore. We're going to see FC Hong Kong just go ahead and push on through this keep. Core would be a very gutsy call here, as Diablo's about to be back up. 15 seconds till the rest of the team. It looks like they are going to move back and try to meet these web weavers. Bottom keep is saved by the web weaver, but it's going to be taken out here by the siege camp of all things. And mid is now being pushed out by the middle web weaver.
Yeah, this lava wave plus the bottom camp is making that bottom wave just absolutely never getting close to that fort that has been at, what, 700 health this entire time?
This wave and catapult might do it here. So FC Hong Kong went full back. And now they're going to start moving towards the middle of the map. They do have a double turn-in available here. Poseidon thinks it's a boss call. Nematode's going to see Dos Dolares move up there. I don't know if Nematode was spotted moving across the lane. You've got to be patient. Poseidon's not going to be patient. They're actually going after this boss. Can FC Hong Kong sniff this out? It's going to be red web weavers. They got to get up here in time, though. Ronan's starting to move in.
Oh my
Big
gosh,
fear coming out from Gul'dan. Dos Dolares. Oh, there's the shield coming in. Grim Notepad actually taking the point here for Poseidon. But Penetrator's in a lot of trouble. The double taunt is in. That's a triple. That's a quad kill. I think we might have a base race on our hands. FC Hong Kong's got to make a choice. They're going to go for the core.
Oh my gosh, this is a risky play, but I love it. This is definitely one of those calls that you make when you're just not trying to you're trying to not lose the game. Instead, you're trying to win it. And there goes
I think this is definitely the call here. Diablo's going to fall. Black Stormer and Tiny Nota have to be careful.
Oh, no.
Ana's taken out by the mid keep. Shielding is gone. Boss is only now starting to whack away. I think FC Hong Kong's got this in the bag, even without Ana. There goes the shielding, and there goes the game. FC Hong Kong bring it back and take game number 1. GG.
Yeah, that was definitely a strong showing from Poseidon, especially on being able to control that map for the majority of the game. But it did not matter because the red team was so focused at the very end just to win the team fights. They did not care about all the things that they were losing as long as they just kept that core alive and were able to end up winning it out in the end, even though they lost the boss fight. Or they won the boss fight, but they lost the boss in that fight because they were focused on the kills.
Very crucial fight there. FC Hong Kong getting exactly the amount of advantage that they needed in the late game and pick up the victory. Very nicely done. FC Hong Kong leading the way on the kills, 18-12. It was Tiny Notai on the Kael'thas, 74,500 hero damage. Actually leading the way in siege hero damage and experience gained, of all things, for a Kael'thas.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that after those early deaths, he wanted to just make sure he was on wave control duty.
Absolutely. We saw Bramble on the Gul'dan there for Poseidon, about 58,000 hero damage. Very nicely done there for sure. We'll take a quick look at the talent screen, and then we'll think about setting up for game number 2. How does that sound, Ninja?
All right, it should be a good match. I hope to see that Poseidon can take control of those times where they're ahead and see if they can get back into it. It looked like Hong Kong was definitely much more comfortable in the team fights, but if Poseidon had a lot of potential there as well, so if they can get on the same page as each other, they can definitely make this a turnaround.
Absolutely. Psyched up for game number 2 here. But before that, we are going to go to the break. Game number 1, very back and forth. It was FC Hong Kong that came out ahead. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it's going to be game number 2. Don't go far. All right, we are back here. It's going to be game number 2, Poseidon versus FC Hong Kong. That was a pretty close one there in the first one, Ninja.
Oh, for sure. It was very back and forth. Poseidon had control of the map for the majority of the game, but Hong Kong was just able to come through with the strong team fights.
Absolutely, Poseidon, great early game macro, fantastic rotations, but in the end, the level 20 team fight coming out from that Kael'thas Vala combo was pretty impressive. Let them know that we are ready. We can jump right into draft number 2. All right. Man, they are rearing and ready to go. Let's head over to the map screen. Remind everyone about the state of the series. Towers of Doom, Alterac Pass, Volskaya Foundry, and Braxis Holdout are banned for this series. FC Hong Kong were the victors on Game 1, 2 of the Spider Queen, and now it is Poseidon taking us to Dragonshire for game number 2. Let's jump into that draft and see what these teams have in store for us. It's going to be a May ban right off the bat. FC Hong Kong with the follow-up from game number 1.
Oh, the Respect Kael'thas ban. I like it.
Not wanting to see Tiny Notai on that Kael'thas again, leading the way on hero damage last game, and it looks like FC Hong Kong sticking with the same bans. We got Mei and Diva.
Definitely tell they came with that plan, regardless of what map I'm assuming.
Absolutely. Now Tassadar going to be banned away once again here by Poseidon.
This is definitely another very macro-heavy map, and rotations are going to be extremely important, and there is that Diablo that they wanted the last game.
Ronan going to go ahead and snap that up while they've got the opportunity, and Grim Notepad is going to respond with the Zool, and Spank is going to steal the Vala, so it's just a little bit of draft trading going on between our two teams.
Very interesting early picks here on both sides. Diablo
like
Li Ana is a very solid 3-man combo.
Seems both sides are getting exactly what they want here, locking in those picks like lightning. Ana Li Ming, a very high damage combo, can definitely key off of the charges of Diablo, and great at dueling. Those 2v2s, 3v3s, very strong with that Diablo Li Ming. Poseidon gonna ban away the premier top laner here on Dragonshire. Rexar's off the board.
And I do really like that ban because he is very pesky to deal with on that top lane.
Arcane, I see your summon Jin in chat. I don't see him right next to me. I think we'll have to get him after this game. ETC banned away here. That's going to force a new tank onto the side of Poseidon here, unless they want to pick up the Garrosh, which is very possible.
It's definitely interesting to see what they're going to pick here. And they're going with a Tyrael.
Stellaris on the Tyrael, which would imply that's a main tank Tyrael. Penetrator going to be playing the Anduin this time, trying to get the saves from the Diablo pressure.
And it's a very interesting choice here. I'm curious to see what their last pick is going to be for that.
Tyrael, a very mobile tank, can definitely cut off retreats and move around with a little bit of impunity here on Dragonshire. Nematode going to pick up the Greymane, and Geo is going to be on the Leoric in that top lane versus Zool.
That is just a full-blown classic. Oh my gosh, alright, I'm sold. I love the Abathur. I was
coming
wondering
in
what
from
they were
Bramble.
thinking with that.
So I guess we've got a supercharged Tyrael or a supercharged Vala, both of them pretty strong with the Abathur hat. We'll have to see how this works out, though. Dragonshire is not one where you can just toss Abathur in the corner. So I'm interested to see what Poseidon's going to do with that. We don't have to wonder for very long, Ninja. It's going to be game number 2, Poseidon versus FC Hong Kong. Here we go. We are back in it. It's going to be game number 2 on to Dragonshire. On the left in the blue, once again, we have Poseidon With Dostolares on the Tyrael, Brambles on the Abathur, Spankus is playing Vala, Grim Notepad on the Zool, and Penetrator is on the Anduin.
And on the right side, on FC Hong Kong,
Battle
we've got
commencing
Leoric
in
playing
10
as Geo,
seconds.
or Geo as Leoric, Nematode as Greyman, Tiny Notai
5,
as Li
4,
Ming, Ronan
3,
as Diablo,
2,
and Black Stormer
1.
as Ana.
Let the
Here we go, game number 2 on Dragonshire is underway. The Abathur mines, the cheeky mine's gonna hit Ronan here, saying, yeah, that's right, I know how to play Abathur.
You got a lot of normal talent choices here on both sides, nothing too fancy, but they're already putting the charge into this Tyrael, who very early on is not going to be too tanky.
Tyrael warping out at the last possible second. Those magic missiles were totally on the way, but Eldruins came online just in time. Could still be in trouble there. There's the overpower. Tyrael not surviving for long. Gonna go ahead and clear that wave for Poseidon, and the rotations will start.
Vala
Geo
even
in some trouble in the top lane
aggressively
there. Zool with an Abathur hat is definitely going to be a lot for Leoric to deal with in the early going. Nematode going right in onto Penetrator, and there's another pickup for FC Hong Kong. And all of a sudden, they're the ones who are controlling the pace in this early game.
Take control.
Once again, we're seeing some issues with those rotations. They're not respecting the other team.
Another big sleep dart coming in from Blackstormer as we see Leoric has moved down to the mid lane. Gonna have to respond to this push from Grim Notepad though. Geo headed back up to deal with that.
Looks like it's going to be pretty low and actually getting a lot of trades, forcing him to Valiant, I think.
Capture the shrines. Inherit the dragon.
Looks like the siege camps will be the focus for our two teams. Ronan thinking about going in on Dostolares again. As we see Tyrael controlling the top. Zool having to head back to base to heal on up is going to give Geo a little bit of space to breathe up there in the top lane.
Leoric is actually implementing a double soak here, and I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that other team is down one member. And oh no, Tyrael in trouble again, but he does manage to get out.
That Eldruin's warp away is doing wonders here for Tyrael to evade those Diablo pins. Going back in, going to be the shortest leap of faith I've ever seen. Going to save Dostolares for now, trying to get the kill onto Ronan. Very aggressive Eldruins, and that's going to be Tyrael down once again.
Ronan is pretty low as well. Very scared to jump up in there.
Just barely avoiding those magic missiles. We do have seemingly a double rotate in coming in from our teams. Grim Notepad thinking about going up for the shrine instead. No, I'm just gonna siege. It's gonna be all right. Ronan finds the flip over onto Spankus, but the vault from Vala is enough to get them away. Dostolares returns to the battlefield.
So I actually really like what they're doing here. They're trying to take as much advantage of having the early game pressure from without the Abathur not having 10 yet, instead of focusing on the objective. They're just trying to get the damage into their switches. And Tyrael just is continuously getting wailed on every time he tries to go in.
Tyrael can take a little bit of damage. Be able to warp away from the initial engage a lot of times here. But just keeps on moving up. There's the sleep, there's the overpower. Another well-placed Eldruins. But it looks like FC Hong Kong is getting the better of this constant siege for now.
Yeah, they are forcing the team down to stay down into this bottom lane while Leoric just continuously double soaks. Does not care about the shrine. It's not been taken by either team. They're just focused on trying to get that experience.
At this point in the game, FC Hong Kong really don't have a reason to go for a dragon. Their siege is sufficient without it. Finding a great angle there onto Spankus. Look at that. Vala exploded by the calamity of Tiny Notai.
They're taking full advantage of this level and talent lead and trying to push into this fort already. Looks like top is finally taken over by Poseidon.
And Notepad going to take the opportunity to go and grab that. Right now, Geo and Grim Notepad just kind of trading lanes here, trying to keep the experience high for the team.
Grim's going in to get that siege damage.
Ronan gonna have to move away from the fort, reset that armor count as Nematode keeping up those stacks. Gotta be careful with those splashes though, in the cocktail of Greymane. If you accidentally hit a hero, then you gotta start walking away.
It didn't end up going the cocktail build, but it still does quite a bit of damage.
Geo gonna catch Grim Notepad here. Looks like Zool will manage to walk away. There's the aggressive Wraith Walk. I think Zool still gets out of here. There they go. There they go. Heavy rotation coming in here from FC Hong Kong. Looks like they thought better of it. Gonna start moving down. Nematode having to be careful of those Abathur mines in the mid.
Yeah, I definitely want to see them stay in this bottom lane because Abathur did go Mule, and he is the only hero that can actually repair towers. So they need to make sure that that tower does end up going down.
Oh, Grim Notepad's headed over to help with the Bruiser camp, but that's going to give FC Hong Kong a possible dragon opportunity. Abathur mines will interrupt for now. Blackstormer trying to create an opportunity. Ooh, the Mule coming out. Oh, Tyrael down in the bottom lane as well. So FC Hong Kong with the double value and the level 10s gonna start sieging the mid lane.
No, I appreciate the attempt to try to interrupt using the Mule, but it was definitely not fast enough.
Just a little too late there coming in from Abathur. Checking out the heroics here for FC Hong Kong. We've got the Entomb, Wave of Force, Apocalypse, Nano Boost, and Greymane. Still thinking about it. Tiny Notai trying to move away here from Grim Notepad. Dragon Knight doing a little bit of peeling there. It is going to be the go for the throat for Greymane.
Yeah,
so
and
the dragon headed up to the top lane here.
Very interesting choice.
Only about 15 seconds left on it, trying to get a little bit of advantage here for Leoric by knocking down these towers just a little bit. Here come the heroics for Poseidon, though. We're looking at the Light Bomb, Rain of Vengeance, Poison Nova, Ultimate Evolution, and the Judgment for Tyrael. Could there be any other for Dos Stellaris?
Ooh, the Leoric walls into the Wallbang of Diablo, but he actually does live for a very long time.
Bramble manages to get on, or Bramble was the clone getting taken out there. It's a 1-for-1 trade on the damage dealers. Dos Stellaris managing to warp on out of there with the Sword of Eldruin. So 1-for-1 on the range damage for our two teams.
It's like we basically got a lane swap now, which is, you don't see that on this map very much.
Usually the bottom lane is the focus here on Dragonshire. It looks like Zool is headed on down there with Geo. I mean, if Zool can take that camp and push for free, that's value. Keeping the rest of the team up here.
Yeah, for sure. It almost even got a tower on its own without the wave even being there. We have a strong fight up in the top lane still going on, but just constantly trading back and forth. Leaning not quite sure where she needs to go.
Looks like we're going to see Poseidon starting to migrate south. FC Hong Kong thinking, do we push? Do we move out? It looks like they are just going to keep up the pressure here. Tiny Notai moving around the edge to try to at least get the well. And we're going to see a counter push in mid by Poseidon before they head on up. Uh-oh, Tiny Notai could be in some trouble here. The Judgment coming out from Dos Stellaris, but Blackstormer is there with the heals. Still, Li Ming going to go down. Just too much kill pressure. Ronan could be next. Manages to get the Apocalypse off to stun 3. Ronan's still alive somehow, just auto-attacking their brains out with that Feast on Fear. Still, Diablo ultimately goes down. Geo trying to find the kill onto Spankus and Dos Stellaris, but Penetrator there with the big heals. There's a lot more people alive right now than I expected. Geo managing to get away. Hitting the Drain Hope is going to keep Geo alive.
I'm definitely thinking Ana OP.
Ana keeping everyone very much alive.
That long.
Dos Stellaris trying to get away here. Nematode, manages to find Tyrael. There's the kill. But here comes the Tyrael bomb. Nematode's in trouble. That's Greymane going down. The fight just goes on and on here. Tiny Notai's back on the battlefield. Grim Notepad trying to get away is going to get hit by that big arcane orb. I think Anduin manages to peel on out of here, has the fort available. My goodness, what a fight.
With Vala being in the middle lane, they had no reason to be taking that fight, but interesting back and forth there. And, earlier, we saw the absolute power of why they chose that judgment, because doing that along with the light bomb can completely change a fight.
This train don't stop for Dos Dolares. If you're not on board, it's leaving anyway.
Exactly.
So Poseidon, you better catch up for the rest of you. Looks like we have the next shrines up and available. FC Hong Kong looking to counter the cap in the bottom lane. Gonna have to clear away the siege camp that was just taken by Poseidon. Uh-oh, Geo being chased out by Dolares in the top lane. Ooh, Sleep Dart doesn't hit, but Ronan does hit with the Shadow Charge. Zul in a lot of trouble here. Ultimate Evolution coming in from Abathur to try to help, but it's not going to be enough. The Evolution is down as well as the original. FC Hong Kong have themselves a player advantage.
Definitely a good attempt there, but it was a bit of a waste as it was 4 members versus just the one.
Looking to slow their attack speed down to absolute 0, but unfortunately, not how debuff stacking works, as Dos Dolares going right in onto Geo, forcing the long Wraith walk out of there.
Actually used Judgment there to engage on that one, so definitely wanted to make sure that he controlled that shrine. Definitely
Pretty short cooldown is Judgment, so it should be back up for the next fight. Though for Dos Dolares, the next fight could be sooner rather than later, so hopefully that'll be back online for the next engage. Looks like Ronan keeping an eye on Grim Notepad in the bottom lane while the rest of FC Hong Kong tries to maintain top presence. Penetrator and Dos Dolares, they're here and they're ready. They don't have any damage with them. Tiny Notai have to warp on out of there. Uh-oh, FC Hong Kong's thinking about retribution, finds Penetrator on the rotation. There's the Entomb onto Anduin. Light Bomb in response. The Unstoppable. Oh, Zul actually taken out by Diablo in the bottom lane of all people. Anduin is down. Dos Dolares is going to be next. It's a split triple kill for FC Hong Kong.
This is so unfortunate timing too, as the red team just got control of both shrines.
Spank is going to have to back off here. Abathur Mines aren't going to be enough, and it's going to be a dragon headed down for red. Keeping up the siege in the mid lane.
Go into the Vala in order to try to get some damage out, but Green just completely believes it.
That 70-second cooldown from Ultimate Evolution's going to have to wait here. Tyrael just now getting back onto the battlefield alongside Anduin. And looking at mid-fort here as the Dragon Knight lays the big boot onto Spankus. Keep Wall's going to be gone here.
Looks like they're happy with that. And once again, rotating top.
Oh, look at that. Grim Notepad. The Dragon Kick finale, and Dos Dolares could be next. There's the Apocalypse, but the Eldruin is going to be enough. Bramble on the Abathur getting hit by the Apocalypse. It's always kind of funny to see. It looks like the dragon is going to expire in the top lane. I don't mind the rotation there up top with a very weak Dragon Knight. Like, if you try to get another breath onto the mid keep and you die there, you probably can't run away.
Actually, I just noticed why I love it is because they're actually getting pressure on the bottom. Oh my gosh, this fight, and they go in taking out the Anduin, Vala, and the Ana.
Ana goes down to the pressure from Dos Dolares. Geo's on the chase looking for an Entomb maybe? Oh no, it's down, but Nematode is there. And finds the kill onto Tyrael. Now finally, top fort. The ultimate target for FC Hong Kong will be taken down.
Yeah, the one good thing about this is now the map is completely open for them to be able to go wherever they want. But it looks like they're actually still going to be pushing on this. They
dare. It's the Bridge of Death. Can they siege fast enough? They've got some pressure here. Vala's back up in just now. Anduin and Tyrael coming up in about 10 seconds here. Looks like they are going to get the wall.
Yeah, and I actually really do love that, having been in the top lane already and having so many members down. Just get that free experience off of those walls and then just leave. You don't even have to end and go for that keep. in the top lane, but getting those walls just to give you that experience boost, get you ever closer to level 1.
Absolutely, they're just well on their way to level 20. This camp plus a couple waves
It
will
won't be long
get the
before
job done.
shrines are ready for the taking.
Well, the shrine's activating. Now's the perfect time for FC Hong Kong to try to force another fight.
Looks like there's going to be some pressure onto this bottom bruiser camp. See if they can actually stack up. And Diablo jumps in there with the Hellblade.
Looking for a Hellgate combo onto Grim Notepad, but the Anduin speed boosting Zool on out of there.
Avenge my husband. Earn his power.
Now
and
FC
destroy
Hong
your
Kong.
enemies.
Are up. They are all 5 here, so they don't even have to go for the objective. They can actually just push in with this double camp, and looks like that is the call. They see the entire team is up top, so they're just going to push this in. Vala is backing, and so is Anduin, but nobody else is. Okay, there's the Zul's backing.
Geo going to keep an eye on the rotations. Nice job from Leoric. The siege is going to continue here.
If they don't answer this soon, this keep is going down.
I think this keeps going down anyway. They got the Bruiser and the Siege on top of it. It's already at half health. There's the Silence and Tomb. Light Bomb's going to pop, but it's not going to be enough. Zool is down. Keep's going to be taken out here. Uh-oh, Geo in a little bit of trouble. Dos Stellaris is on the chase. Tyrael manages to warp out. Hits the well. Oh! It's going to go down. There goes Penetrator. Abathur, the only one on the battlefield. I think this is going to be FC Hong Kong going in and finding their 2-0 series victory.
Taking that level 20 lead and forcing it down the bottom lane with that double camp is just the pinch it on this back. Not quite as back and forth, but definitely strong game.
Strong performance there indeed by FC Hong Kong. They take the game and they take the series. GG.
GG. Well played, both teams.
Very well done indeed. Take a quick look here at the post-game screen. 20 kills to 5 coming in for FC Hong Kong. It was Nematode edging out Tiny Notai on the hero damage. Nicely done on the Greymane, 48,500. It was actually Bramble on the Abathur, leading the way on the hero damage with those hat spikes. 56,500.
We even took the Needle Spine build as well to get that extra damage going out. It definitely worked. He ended up getting a couple kills off of it too.
Just empowering that guns ablaze and Tyrael, going in, finding a couple kills, but ultimately just not enough kill pressure, not enough to push back the wave that was FC Hong Kong.
It's
All right,
definitely
well,
an interesting strategy there, but Hong Kong definitely understood that fighting against the Abathur, they had to take control of the game early and force that control to just dominate before Poseidon could even respond.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see if we can find ourselves an interview with our victors. Plur Ninja, I'm going to meet you in one of the voice lobbies down below.
All right.
Throw up the blocker. All right, let's head on down to here. All righty. Okay, let's see if we can get... And it looks like we're going to get Notai. Welcome to the show. Thank you, or thanks for coming on by, and congratulations on the 2-0 there.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me.
Looking pretty good out there. Game 1, a little bit shaky. Poseidon going up very early there. What was the key there, do you think, on Tomb of the Spider Queen to sort of stabilize in the mid-game and ultimately turn things around?
It was mostly just that, trying to keep our cool. We knew we were in a really tough spot, but Tomb is it's very momentum heavy, so as long as we could get some big team fight wins in the late game, we knew we would give ourselves a chance. And so we managed to do that, right? We were patient. We waited until we got 20, even though we lost all our structures. I think we kept our cool, which saved us, I think.
a lot of teams can't say that. They will very often crack under the pressure, but it was very interesting to see you guys constantly adapting your strategy and respecting the other team. At one point there, I think you guys were all just constantly going one wave to another as five just to make sure that nobody got caught out.
Yeah, we noted pretty early on they were very focused on ganking the off lane. So when we fell so far behind, the only thing we could do to protect ourselves from that was stick together, try to soak our way up to 20, and get a fight on an even talent tier. We knew that was going to be it.
Yeah, it was
So going. Oh, sorry, you had another one there, Ninja?
Oh yeah, I was just going to talk about that boss fight at the end. It was very interesting at how first you had the boss fight that you were about to fight with, but then you actually decided to just completely give that away. Did you know that they were on there and taking that boss?
Yeah, we knew they were there, but I can't remember if we were either just out of position enough or we knew we were behind enough in levels that it wouldn't be worthwhile for us to try to contest it. Ronan, our tank and caller, was just encouraging us to play the long game, try to be patient, and that would be our ticket to try to win.
Yeah, and with that lava wave, it definitely tends to go for long games as well. So being able to take that last boss fight, and I noticed that you guys were definitely more focused on the kills than actually getting the boss, which I definitely think was the right play and helped you out with that victory.
Yeah, it was a dicey fight. I think I almost died immediately. I got trapped by Ragnaros and Gul'dan. Somehow our healer kept me in it, and we knew we had to get a wipe and try to race the core. Even if we didn't get the boss, it was if we could wipe them out, we could get on the core and burn it before Winions did something or the boss got there.
Exactly.
All right, well, fantastic game number one there for 2. Game number 2 looking a lot more stable, a lot more dominant there for FC Hong Kong. Tell me about the strategy on Dragonshire. It looked like you were pretty comfortable just doing the double rotation between top and mid and keeping up the siege. Is the sort of non-prioritization onto the early dragons a part of your standard strategy there on Dragonshire, or was that just the opportunity that presented itself?
Well, it's sort of the opportunity that was there, right? Because they drafted an Abathur, so we knew no matter what, we would have an advantage in terms of bodies somewhere on the map. So when they left 3 bot, we knew that's where we could try to get an advantage. We tried to put as much damage on structures. We held that point, and it didn't really matter what Zula was doing top lane as long as Geo was soaking the experience in the top and mid lanes.
Yeah, I definitely liked that call. As an Abathur player myself and being an Ava main, I always hate it when the team just forces the note before I can even get my level 10s.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we knew that was our advantage early game. They had one fewer body on the map, and we just had to press it.
All right, well, strong performance there over 2 games. We're getting into the later weeks here in the regular season, so we're starting to think about the playoffs. Are there any big matchups you're looking forward to? Any big rivalries in the standings that you're looking to repeat?
I'm keeping an eye on the Villa Dancing Queens. The match that we played against them was kind of a turning point for us in the season. We had an early loss, and we knew Illa Dancing Queens was a really strong team, and we went in thinking that we stood a fair chance, and we had a hard-fought 2-1 series. They ended up beating us, but I think I would like that rematch. But we have a lot of strong teams in the division, so I think any team we see is gonna give us a good run for our money.
All right, fantastic. Waiting, there might be one question coming in from the chat. It's hard, it's on a 60-second delay, so I'm hoping it comes through in a second, but I won't keep you here for too much longer. While I've got you here, tell me a little bit about the Li Ming pick there. He seemed like a very strong hero for you. Is that one that you like to take in a lot? Is that a particular combo with Diablo, or do you feel like she fits in on pretty much any damage comp?
I mean, as long as it's not a map where there are a ton of minions to get in the way of her skill shots, I always like Li Ming. She's good for blowing up a given target. With Diablo, CC is, she's a great complement. And then we drafted Deanna for nano boost, so we knew we could get out a ton of damage with her.
All right, fantastic. All right, we've got 2 questions from the chat. We're cutting you off there, Valcomer. Valcomer's got 2 questions. First one, what hero would you choose for a workout buddy?
Probably Leoric. You seen how ripped that guy is?
Man, just hard as a rock. Hard as bones, you might say.
Yeah.
And the second question was, what hero would you like to read their autobiography?
Li Ming. That voice.
Ooh.
Very nice.
The smooth voice reading their history. Fantastic. All right. Notai, thank you very much for coming on by. Congratulations on the victory, and good luck going forward with the playoffs.
All right. Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
Great games, and congratulations on the victory.
Thanks again.